Want to set up blazing fast vector search without writing complex embedding code? In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create your Pinecone account, set up an index, connect it to Pinecone's hosted Llama embedding model, and integrate it with Python to upload your text all in one smooth walk. So let's get started by creating a new folder, and I can name this folder as Pinecone demo maybe. Okay, so why do I need this folder? Because the way we are going to take it up is, first of all, we will create a new account on Pinecone, and then we will try to create an index from the Pinecone website. Now this index can be created from within the Pinecone interface dashboard, but there are other ways as well. You can create the same index using, let's say, Python API. But index creation, I feel, is more suited for dashboard. So what I'll do is I'll create index from there only, but when uploading the documents, we will use Python's API. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll open Chrome and let's navigate to Pinecone, and let's start by creating a new account. So I'll go to sign up, and I'll start with, maybe I'll choose the option of continue with Google, and I'll choose this email ID. I'll continue, and then I will be presented a dashboard, which is a Pinecone dashboard where you can create an index. Now I should talk a little bit about what is the index, but I feel let me create the index, because index creation takes a while. So in that moment I'll be covering some maybe other topics and concepts while the index is being created. And also when you create a new Pinecone account, you will be presented a API key which you can copy, although it says that you must copy this immediately because you won't be able to see this later. But it's not true. You can create a new API key if you want, but let's consider its suggestion and copy it. And let me open a command prompt and create a new Visual Studio Code instance within it, and I'll create a new file called .env file, and within this I'll create a new key which is Pinecone key, and copy the key that I've just paste the key that I've just copied. Okay, so now that we have this .env created, now we can close it. Now you see this option that welcome to your project. You are on the path of building remarkably better applications. Create an index to get started. So let's go ahead and create an index. Okay, let's provide a default name, maybe my first index. And now the nice thing about Pinecone, but see, this is nice for some people, but some people might not like it, that they provide you with an option to basically choose a embedding model. Okay, now usually the way vector databases work is that you create your own embedding and you push those embedding into vector databases like Quadrant, for example. Although Quadrant also offers an inbuilt embedding model, but that is something which is as an extension. But by default, it has chosen this Llama text embedding model. Now this particular model is hosted on Pinecone's server, and what will happen is we will push in this index our text documents, raw text documents, and they will be automatically converted to vectors on the fly by Pinecone. We don't have to worry about other details, and you can see the configuration for the model, such as the dimension of the vector that it will be creating. Now it says integrated embedding. Let Pinecone manage the conversion to vector embedding. So we don't have to worry about it. We just insert the text document, and it will basically create it for us. Now while creating the index, we have the option to basically rename the field map that we want to use for our text document. Okay, so here let's go with the default one, which is text. So what it means is that when we will be pushing documents, pushing the JSONs within this index, we have to provide the name as text. And then we have this these options, although they at this point I think you should not worry about this. But if you have, let's say, maybe if you prefer Azure or GCP, you can probably go with that. And yeah, so I think at this point we can create the index. And the moment I hit the index, the moment I hit the create index option, it will start initializing the index, and it takes a bit of time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. But meanwhile, while this index is being created, I want to take your attention to some of the options that it provides, because these options will later come in handy whenever we will be basically interfacing with this index using Python. So first one is metric. Now this metric is basically a way to measure or compare two different vectors. Okay, so cosine matrix, what it does is it computes a angle between two vectors, and in this manner it can understand whether a given query vector is similar to the vectors stored in the index. Then we have dimension. Now this dimension corresponds to the dimension provided by the embedding model that we choose. Okay, then we have host. Now this host is something that we need to pay attention to, because while creating the index from our Python script, we will be using that. Then we have cloud, which is self-explanatory. Region is also self-explanatory. Now this type is something that we need to probably spend some time understanding. The type of vectors that we have created are known as dense. Now if you have to compare them with something opposite, they are known as sparse vectors. And sparse vectors are used for keyword based matching, where we have to match exact words from the text, from the query. Here we are talking about semantic similarity, and in semantic similarity we get dense vectors. And how do we get dense vectors? We get those dense vectors from the embedding model. And how embedding model is able to get a kind of semantically accurate vector? It's by something known as deep learning and neural based embeddings. Okay, so now since this has gone green, it means our index is ready. But let's continue discussing it. Now here we can add our records. Currently we don't have any records, and by record what we mean is one JSON, and one JSON has to contain one ID and a text key, and optionally it can also contain some metadata in the form of key value pair. All right, so when we can also talk about metrics means how this particular index, so this index might be hosted somewhere, so it's hosted here, how it is functioning. And then we have to understand namespaces. See, namespaces is really important. Namespaces allow you to think about a partitioning of the index. Now why partitioning of the index might be important? So for example, if you have a use case where you are dealing with billions or millions of vectors, in that case you might want a given user. So for example, if a user makes a semantic search query, you don't want them to basically search through your entire billion collection of vectors. You want them to only maybe search through a subset of those vectors, and that's where namespaces comes in. And as we will see later, when we create a Python script, we actually insert our records in a namespace. Okay, so yeah, so I think that would be it. But I feel before even talking about anything else, I need to cover a little bit about index. What exactly is index? Okay, now I can cover this in maybe much more detail in some later video, but at a very high level, what index is doing is, and index is a very popular term within a database field. What it does is, it takes your data and it creates some sort of data structure. And what kind of data structure it creates? It creates an optimized data structure which is optimized for a given task. Here Pinecone, the task that Pinecone is optimizing for is search. And what kind of search we are dealing with? We are dealing with semantic search. So that's what this index is doing. It is creating a kind of data structure which is optimized for searching. Now in relational databases also, we have the concept of indexes, but there the search happens on a column and the search is usually exact. Even there as well, we can create and assign a given column as an index. So what I mean by that is we can create within the SQL also, within relational databases also, a concept of index. Okay, now let's move on to the second part of the video, and that is actually interfacing and basically and inserting some documents. So what I'll do is I'll create a new script, or maybe interface with Pinecone. Now to interface with Pinecone, we need a couple of packages, and before we even do that, let's create a virtual environment. Okay, and when this virtual environment would be created, we would be loading our keys from .env using the .env package, python.env. So we will use this function called load.env. So since this is created, let's meanwhile activate the environment and let's install a couple of packages. So first of all, I need to install a Pinecone SDK, that is software development kit, and I need to install python.env, and I feel that would be it for now. Let's install these two, and let's come back to the script. So after I load this .env, what will happen is, so these packages are being installed. What will happen is it will load all the variables which are defined in .env. It will find a .env file and it will load it. Now to extract the exact key, I need OS, and I will create a new variable like OS like key is equal to os.getEnv, and I'll provide the key that I have used here, Pinecone key, and I'll paste it right here. Now I have key available here. Now what I can do is I can create a Pinecone client. Maybe I can define it as client, and to do that I need to, let's see if installations are completed. So what I can do is I can do from Pinecone import Pinecone, and now we can use this class, and it takes a API key argument, and we can pass the key. Now this basically connects with my user account of Pinecone, but currently it does not know which index I am dealing with. So now I'll create a new index. See, alternatively you could have created index also from this script, but since we have created the index using the dashboard, now we already have the index. We just need to create an index so that we can insert records into it. So what I'll do is I'll do something like client.index. Now this index has to take a host argument. Now you can also pass name of the index, but I like to do it with host because it is much more you can say professional and production ready. So I'll copy this, and you can remove this HTTPS. You don't need these here. So now I have successfully basically connected with my index. So what I can do now, I can take my index and I can call a method called upsert records. Now this upsert records will take two arguments. First is the namespace, the second would be actual records. Now this records would be a list. It would be a list of, you can say, dictionaries, and these list of dictionaries has to have a ID attribute and a text attribute. Now this text, remember, while creating the index we told it to keep it as text. So let's try to maybe create some random text for now, just to see that if it is working. Now first argument is something known as namespace. So for example, my first namespace is maybe I'm building this semantic search for, let's say my HR team. So I can create a namespace for HR. Okay, so now my first text could be something like leave policy states that you can't take leave more than 3 days. Okay, casual leave, the second document would be casual leave and sick leave cannot cannot exceed more than 7 days. So I'm just doing some random stuff here. So ID1 or maybe policy1, okay, policy2. Okay, so I've created these two documents. Now I have created this HR. Now I can also create a metadata. Now why metadata might be important? Because later you might be interested in maybe extending the search functionality by doing some sort of metadata filtering, or what is known as hybrid search, where you combine semantic search with the exact keyword search. In that case, you might have a key called category maybe, but you are not limited to keeping it as category. You can you can create it anything that you want. You can create any key that you want. Okay, so now I can pass category here as well. Now what we can do is I can insert this document. Now here this text is important. Now let's run this script. So I'll do, and let me print success message after the script is done running. Python interface with Pinecone, and we are seeing some error. So each record must have ID or IDU, and what? Okay, so I think we did not put it into a string. Okay, let's rerun this, and we should see the success message, and it should be relatively quick, and we see the success message. So now that we have created these records, we can go ahead and let's open the index and let's refresh. So we see we are seeing two documents, and from within the dashboard of the Pinecone, I can do some sort of searching. Let me search something like leave policy, only leave policy, and let's return 1, because I only have two documents. It wouldn't make sense to to do search at this point, but you get the idea, right? So if I do search, okay, I'm getting this first document and leave policy, and intuitively we can see that it is returning the correct result. Okay, if I had let's say thousands of documents, I would have used top K as maybe 10 or 20, right? And then I can also look at namespace. I have a namespace called HR, and this namespace has got 2 records. Okay, now you can see that I could have different namespaces for different departments within my organization, and in this way I have, but what I have done is I have basically taken my index, taken my database, and have partitioned it, okay, to support something known as multi-tenancy and also query speed, and to basically make you understand why it is going to result in a high query speed, is that if you have HR namespace and if you are making a query, so let me show you how query looks like. So I'll comment this now, because we can't upsert these again and again. To make the query, what I'll do is I'll call index.search, and within this I need to provide a argument called namespace, and I'll provide HR, right? So now this namespace has basically decreased the number of records. So in a real life setting, in a production setting, you might have billions of vectors, and HR might contain maybe 100k vectors. So in that case, if you provide the namespace, you have decreased the possible vectors where the index has to make the search. Okay, so after namespace, you need to provide an argument called query, which is going to be an object or maybe dictionary. It will take a top k argument, which let's keep 1, and then inputs, and inputs will be again a object, and it will have a text. Let's keep the text similar to what we try to do here. I'll do leave policy. So I'm making a search. Now this is going to return a complex JSON, complex results object, and to kind of see how it will work is it will return, you can say, a list, right? A list. Okay, so the way it works is, so for now I'll show you the entire list, this result object. Okay, before actually starting the loop. Okay, let's run this. First let me show you how the results looks like. You see this? So this results is this complex JSON which has a key. Okay, now let's try to extract the results key from this. Now let's run this again and we should see another JSON. Now we see this hits. So now let's get the hits as well. Now you will see this hits will be a list. So you see it will be a list. How many entries you will see in this list? You will see that many entries which you specified in this argument. So currently we have specified 1. So now what we can do is, for hit in, I can take this argument. So this is going to be a list. Now this hit is going to be a JSON, and this JSON has ID, score and fields. Now this fields would be the fields from this dashboard. You can see we have got category, we have got text. These will be included within these fields. So what I can do is, I can do something like a beautiful print. Maybe I can do ID and then format, and I can take this hit and I can extract the ID from it, and this is the ID, and then I can maybe tab, or if you don't want, you can do that, and then I can add a score, and then again I can do something like hit score. Let's try to print this. So one second, hit score. Why it is okay? Because score is having an underscore before it. So you see this ID is policy1 score, but it doesn't look right. We should also have the actual text. So the way we will do is, we will add a text and we will have hit and fields, because actual text is inside the fields and then text. And we might also print maybe category. Okay, but for now let's go with this and finally run this. So you see policy1 score and text. So what does that mean? That means when I search for this query, I'm getting this result, and I can comment out this to finally show you the final output. The final output is this. So this is how we can do the searching once we have inserted the records in our database. Okay, I hope it makes sense. I feel at this point, the way you are going to take this current version of your index and scale it is by just inserting your text document, and also one more thing that I feel I can discuss here is that when you currently I have just inserted 2 records, okay, and the index creation you did not feel any lag. And when will you feel lag? You will feel lag in index searching, because when you insert documents in large numbers, there will be a delay. You won't be able to search the index immediately. You will have to wait for some time, maybe couple of hours also. If you have number of records ranging in millions, in that case you will have to probably wait for 30 minutes or 1 hour also before you can actually search. Why you have to wait? Because what the Pinecone will do is, it will take all your million of records, and it will first of all, it will create embeddings for text, and then second of all, it will take those embeddings and it will create a graph based structure for fast query, fast searching. And the exact technique that it uses is something known as HNSW. Now this is an algorithm to take very high dimensional vectors and create a data structure which is very optimized for searching, fast searching. Okay, I hope I was able to make this concept pretty clear. So I feel I would like to stop right here, because my objective of this video was to get started with Pinecone, create an account, create an index, and how to interface with that index using Python by inserting records and searching. And you can do it now. You can now take your records, whatever in whatever form you have the records, and insert them, and then you can implement these searching in your applications. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much. Do let me know if you want me to cover any of this topic in much more detail. I can do that for you. Or maybe in future I'm planning to create a Flask based application, maybe searching based application using Pinecone, using this index. Do let me know in the comments if you are interested in something like that sort. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.